was a last-minute request to the organizers after seeing your enthusiasm yesterday, because I thought you were too young for this subject, but now I realize that I was wrong. What you're going to see today
Children,
is
please settle down.
just a snapshot of what few good people with good intentions can get together and do for India. We call it Bring Our Gods Home, hashtag. So if you or your parents want to check about our work, you can look at it. We coined the term India Pride Project, basically to restore India's pride. As usual, I normally start with the dedication. This is again dedicated to the unknown artists and sculptors who created these divine works, the kings and chieftains who supported them, and to the common people like you and me. And what you're seeing is a sculpture of Vishwakarma, the divine architect, and it's from Cambodia. Our gods are under threat. They are broken, they are smuggled, they are sold for profit. So I'm going to do a short presentation showing you the risks and what will happen if you don't take action. We're in Coimbatore today. A lot of people don't know your murti that you see here from the Karivarada Perumal temple is currently in London. These three bronzes, are part of a buried hoard that was found in the 1890s. So I don't know if you know that where the temple is. Sangameshwara கோயிலுக்கு பக்கத்துல கரிவரத பெருமாள்னு இருக்கு. அந்த கோயிலோட மூர்த்திகள் they were taken away by Lord Curzon. They are currently on display in the Victoria and Albert Museum. India has been losing hundreds and thousands of our deities for the last century. Till 2000, India bought back 19 antiquities. 2000 to 2012, we bought back 0. Comparing, for example, if you take Italy, in the same period, 1970 to 2012, Italy bought back 138,000 artifacts. India bought back how much? 19. And that's why we called our project the India Pride Project. And today, we're happy to let you know that we have crossed 630 physical restitutions in the last 10 years. And this year, the US has technically returned 1,845 artifacts which are going to come back. So our target is to cross 2,000 this year. So this is what we do. We work on restitution, we build awareness, we act as a deterrent, we influence policy, we work on capacity building. A lot of words, let me show you in action. This was a Rama group that was stolen from a temple in 1978. It was on sale in London in this form for millions of dollars. One of the volunteers spotted it, sent us a photograph in 2013. For 5 years we searched from where it could have been stolen. Unfortunately, the village from where it was stolen over the 40 years had forgotten that they had a temple for Rama. They knew only they had a Hanuman temple. In 2017, we made the match. We found the photographs, we found the old case files. We managed to give the proof to the Indian High Commission in London. And on August 15th of 2018, this happened. The dealer who had these bronzes gave it to the Indian High Commission on August 15th, and more importantly, they are now gone back to worship, gone back to receiving the adoration, to feeling the incense, the smell, the pujas. And this is what we mean when we say bring our gods home. And we need all your help to ensure that they continue to be the gods that they once were. Unfortunately, the Hanuman of this group is still stuck in Singapore. Hopefully he'll also come back. So I'm going to rush through. Please, we call them in Tamil. What do we call bronzes? Anybody can tell me? Sembu is the metal, but they are called, we call it Tirumeni. Tirumeni means literally body of God. And what you're seeing is a Chola Nataraja that was installed by the great king, Emperor Rajaraja Chola in the big temple, Adavalan, who has been under continuous worship for 1,000 years. And how do we take care of these deities? They are taken care of as living gods. They are woken up in the morning, they are bathed, they are clothed, they are fed. Marriages happen to them in the night, they are sung to and they are taken to sleep. The priests, and we look at them as living gods. But sometime in the 14th century, things happened. Invaders came, Aiknokas came. Our ancestors did the ultimate sacrifice to protect the gods. They buried these bronzes for safety, because otherwise the Aiknokas would break them or melt them for gold. Today, all over India, we get hundreds every year of these buried hoards coming up. Why is it that? Imagine, you have a horde waiting at the gate coming with plunderers to kill you. What would you do? You would run away. But our ancestors took time to hide their gods for safety. But for some reason, which you can, I'll leave it for speculation, they could not bring them back for worship. But as they come out for worship, what you're seeing here is a Nataraj Murti that is coming out 2 years ago. Within seconds, he's become the god he once was. And this was the reason why our ancestors took that effort. You know, he's just one wash. Rendu poo, Samiyayach. These are being smuggled out of India. Not only these brilliant bronzes, because I'm showing you examples from Tamil Nadu. This is the condition that these bronzes are in our own temples. So we are also to blame. Nallador Veenai Seidu Nalam Geda. So you please go back to your hometowns, villages, go back to your Kuladevatas, please worship the gods so that this doesn't happen. What you are seeing here is an actual auction. Our gods are being priced. People are obviously doing a lot of unwanted things where our gods are being sold. Imagine living gods becoming commoditized as showpiece curios. Parties are happening with our gods as decorative items. Can you count the number of bronzes that you see in one party? Not all our gods end up in museums. I showed this the last time as well. This is an indoor swimming pool in America. So I'll take 5 more minutes. I think even the computer is a bit choked by seeing these scenes. Yes, 100%. So what we're doing is basically working with people to ensure that we don't commoditize our gods. So what can you do? What can you do? Please pray. Pray to our gods so that you can see our gods in their temples and not in museums in America, museums in the UK. And whenever you travel, I'm going to reset play a couple of videos, but we can skip that. So what we're going to see now is how can we combat, what can we do to bring back our gods. It's a test. We're being fooled in plain sight. The Rama is a genuine Chola bronze. The Sita is a modern replacement. So what's happening to our gods? I'd like to show you why is it so difficult to prove our cases. I know there will be a lot of scientists coming up from this crowd. You cannot scientifically date stone or solid cast bronzes. So how do you date bronzes? It's only stylistic evolution. Just to give you how an example. So what do you see here? It's movies over a period. And how do you know it's movies over a period? It's the style, how the style changes. So based on the same styling, we can work on each of these bronzes over 1,000 years, how they have changed. And this comes from seeing hundreds and thousands of bronzes. And this is the way each, by the dress they wear, by the ornaments they wear, that we can circle down. And this is just, imagine one state, one religion. And here we don't just recover Hindu gods. I'll show you examples where we worked on Buddhist icons, Jain icons. So all this requires a lot of study. And I was not formally trained. I learned by myself. And I'm sure as you grow up, each of you will pick up similar hobbies. And please look at iconography and temple art. It's a very unique field, and I'm sure you will succeed. And once you've seen a Chola bronze in person, I wrote that she came to life, I became metal. And this was the Prime Minister of India and France publishing a book about how a French institute documented icons. And we managed to trace this beautiful samandar that was stolen in 1968. And with that proof, what happened was this bronze was stolen. So he's a priest now during his father's time. And last year, this happened. We actually handed over this deity back to the custodian to enjoy. So whenever you go to museums, I want you to ask these questions. Why is it the feet are hacked? The feet are hacked because they are anchored to the ground. This was in Devgarh. This beautiful 8-ton Varaha statue was chopped away by robbers. Not only that, they deliberately break. So you can actually see how this Varaha has been broken by robbers for export. They cut off the heads of the gods for sale. Literally headhunters are selling. A lot of our art, beautiful damsels. And what do? We work in forensic art, forensically proving that these are stolen. And this theft is continuing to happen. I don't know how many people are from Karnataka. This was a theft that happened in Kikkeri in 2014. 6 sealing damsels were stolen by robbers. We are not able to find them still. So Sai Surupa talked about my book. It's called The Idol Thief. It's available. I've made sure that I did not use any complicated terms, and my brief to my editor was you should read it in 4 hours. So how big was the loot? We worked with law enforcement. The villain of my book was called Subhash Kapoor. So I'm just going to show you. This was a seizure that happened in America. All these was what he had in stock, unsold stock. And we are talking about hundreds and thousands of deities that were held in godowns and shops. And this is by state. I don't know how many of you have seen Kantara movie. You will see the boar. We're talking about Indus Seal, Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, Figa. All these are on sale not once but by the hundreds. And these are continuously being plundered. So this one dealer, his holding stock, what you're seeing is 2,622 objects valued at $108 million was found in 14 storage locations. $108 million is about 900 crores in today's exchange rate. And this was his unsold stock. He was in business for 35 years. We are going to bring back this Yakshi. She was basically on sale for $15 million. And she was cut into 3 pieces and stitched back by a dealer. Sorry. So when she comes back, she will be the most expensive restituted object in the history of the world, $15 million. We worked with like this for not just Tamil Nadu, for a lot of states. This was found in a garden in London 3 years ago. A beautiful yogini from Uttar Pradesh. Again, on August 15th, last 2 years ago, we got it back. We worked with a lot of technology. So I'm just going to show you one last minute how we solved a case of a theft of a Buddha from Nalanda in 1962. 14 bronzes were stolen from the Nalanda Site Museum. We managed to track it. They were not out for 47 years. So after 47 years, I tried to sell it. We managed to catch it in a sale via WhatsApp, friends informing us. So that's live chat that is going on of images of friends visiting an art fair, and we found the Buddha. So this was a Buddha that was stolen from the old archive at 3:45 in the night in Singapore. I was in Singapore that time. We have a match. We managed to prove that it was stolen. We brought in experts from ICOM, and ICOM officials confirmed our match. Even though the robbers had broken a leaf from the left and stuck it welded to the right side, based on our evidence, it was handed over to India, and this Buddha came back. The Buddha is with the Honorable Finance Minister. So we've done a lot of work, but the robbers are one step ahead. They are basically, this is a buried hoard, and restorers are being employed to clean them. In this condition, objects are leaving. So we work with teams like you to raise awareness. We hope, I'm just going to rush through because I don't have time, how we work. Please look us up at our work. We work on knowledge bases. We data mine archives. We have solved thefts using social media on Facebook. This was a theft that was done in 1918, which we have solved thanks to a book that was published in 1917. We managed to find this Jain Murti that robbers threw off because we were on its tail. That's my book. I'm not trying to market my book. That's the villain of my book. There are 2 bronzes behind him. His sister is hidden in New York. Together they are valued at with 2 more bronzes for about $18.5 million. We're still not able to find them. The robbers tried to sell this Shiva, but they thought it was made of gold. So they actually used an axa blade to cut it and melt his hand to see if there was any gold involved. There was no gold. In the mean, it was actually done in Coimbatore. The jeweler who melted it was killed by the robbers. In this hand-cut condition, this deity was smuggled to Nepal, to Hong Kong, from Hong Kong to London. In London, the restorer made a new hand, and he was on sale for $3.5 million before we got him back. The robbers are being creative. So these are all robber offering photos, like bridegroom photos being sent by brokers. They're sending these photos. You can actually see a veshti, a dhoti, a lungi. So these are robbers selling our deities on WhatsApp. So we worked with a lot of such cases. This was our first success in 2014. The Ardhanari from Vruddhachalam and Srivradhan Shiva was handed over by Australian Prime Minister to the Indian Prime Minister. And what was interesting was when this Nataraja came back, this was how he went back to the same place from where he was stolen. This is how the temple was renovated to receive the Lord. And this is where we need ground level support to ensure that the temples can get back and host these deities. I know about 300 odd stories are waiting to be told. Hopefully we'll have, so I just wanted to show you this last one. These are terracottas from Chandraketugarh, which is a site in West Bengal, 2nd century BC. Beautiful works. Thousands have been plundered because we are not reading history. So the moment we all wake up, we will get back our deities. Please, when you go back to your villages, if somebody tells you something is stolen, look out for me.
give us information. One such information was provided to us from Pune Nallur. If you're going to Tanjavur, just outside Tanjavur is a Pune Nallur Mariamman temple. Next to it, this Shiva was there. We managed to locate it in Asia Society, and last year we managed to provide the proof, and you can see the Prime Minister receiving this idol, and he's now gone back, and he was a priest who gave us the information. It was a theft that happened in 1971, so the Nataraja has gone back to worship. So we've done a lot of these over the last couple of years. What you're going to see is this Hanuman, which we got back from Australia. A lot of news is coming. Please, please take care of our murtis. What we need from you is basically being voice to amplify. We need you to take care and protect our heritage. If you take care of our heritage, our gods will continue to remain at home. We will continue to protect the heritage. This is your duty. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Vijay Kumar. I have been to UK. I'm just back from UK, and I went to the British Museum, and I saw all these statues. And when I came out, I said this should be rightfully called the Indian Museum and not the British Museum. You know, so I'm so glad that you're doing so much towards bringing back our deities. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We will. We will now have a session by Srimati Sai Swarupa Iyer, and she is an IITN, author of 6 books, and a Stree Shakti awardee. That calls for an applause. And she is an assistant professor at Chanakya University and curator of Indica books. Now she'll be having a session on imagination and magic, the Indic way. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am, for that wonderful introduction. Welcome back, students. I see a lot of new faces today. Quickly, before we start, how many of you are from class 6? Younger than class 6? Class 5, huh? Oh, wow. Class 7? 8? 9? 10? Okay. So that was just my quick. So how many of you like stories? How many of you don't like? So I just want quick answers on when you see a story, what is it that you like when you see or read a story? Yes? Okay. Moral. You like the moral of any story? Great. What's your name? Yadu Charan. Nice. Yeah. Creativeness and ideas. Let's go a little bit into the Jiva mode, not much of an Atma mode that Ishani Akka told us. In the story, what do we like? Or let's have someone from that girl last. Yep. What's your favorite story? Cinderella story. Okay. So what do you like in Cinderella story? She gets the magical things overnight, within moments. She's transformed from a, Cinderella to a lady that you liked. Hmm? But that goes off in the midnight. Right? So did you like that? Yes. Why? It is so interesting. So what happens next? She'll go to the palace. Okay. So what happens next? Does our hero, heroine, they, do they get what they want? Right? We want to know the story because we want to know whether they get what they want. Now, all of you, I hope, will become. I'll ask you questions, please. I think my hand will start paining when I see so many hands up. Okay. Where was I? Yep. So in the story there is a hero, heroine, whatever is the words that we want to use. They want something. And they set about in this journey trying to achieve what they want. And we like them so much in the process that we want to see them achieve it. Right? Do we like if the hero fails at the end? No. Because we want them to win at the end. Right? Why? Have you wished? Had the prince forgotten about Cinderella? Okay, yeah, I danced with her. She went away. That's nice. Okay, let me move on. Would we have liked that story? No, right? It would have fizzled out. Any answers? Why? Why we want that person? That person doesn't even exist in in real life mostly. There's no Cinderella in real life. But still we are so. Yes. So we want to read about it. It doesn't happen in real life, so we want to read about it, which means you want to make something that is not possible in real life. You want to look at it as a possibility. We want to make things happen. Yes? Yeah. Wonderful. That is, what's your name? Vishwa. So Vishwa says, we merge with the hero. We become one with that person in the story, and we want to, because we want them to win, because we want us to win. So, young storytellers, I'll tell you something. When a lot of storytellers, filmmakers make this mistake of assuming that when we write a story or make a movie, the audience want a break. They want to escape from reality and experience this movie and go back. No, they are not coming for a break. They are coming to connect with themselves. They want to find themselves in our stories. Reader, if we can't find ourselves with that story, we don't like that story. Come on. Right? Exactly. So, you want to craft a hero or a shiro that every reader will identify with themselves. And for that to happen, as writers, we have to identify with our heroes. Right? Okay? So the let us build our story. Okay? If you are interested, you can make note your points, that you want to remember, take home, and it's going to be an interactive session, so I want participation from you. And so, all of you, how many of you want to build your own stories? That's almost everyone. How many of you will read the stories that your friends are going to write? Not much. You don't believe that your neighbors are going to write a good story? Reading is as important as writing, more important as writing. So please keep encouraging each other as you write. Hero of the story. Right? Who all do you see? That's the first one you see. Little Krishna, Hanuman, Vikram and Betal, Ghatotkaч. You like all of them? All of them? Two quick answers on who do you like and why?
Vikram and Betal because his polite answer which he gave to Betal.
You know how many stories Betal told Vikram? It's called 25, which is 22, which is called 25. So Betala Panchavimshati is the work. So 25 stories Betal tells Vikram, and he says, if you don't answer the question after I tell my story, if you know the answer but you refuse to answer, your head is going to burst. But if you talk, I'm going to go back to that tree. So at the end of the day, we want Vikram to live, we want Vikram to succeed. So we are waiting for that one story where Vikram does not know the answer, so that he'll succeed. But in that beautiful journey, we have so many stories and so many morals coming up from there. Right? Okay. One more.
Krishna because he is very brave and naughty like my brother.
So you find your brother in Krishna. That's lovely, isn't it? Huh? Finding the kinship with gods. Right? That's as you write your stories, especially if you are writing a Puranic story or a historical story, finding that kinship with them. He is my friend, he is my brother, she is my sister, or I am him. Right? That is one feeling, one emotional feeling that helps you write great stories. Great stories. What does a hero do? So there are people in danger. What is Hanuman doing in the first picture? He's bringing Sanjeevani to save Lakshmana. And what is Krishna doing here? So why is he lifting the mountain? To save the people of Vrindavan. Right? Yeah? Because of Indra. So that's what heroes do. Right? They put their own safety under risk and they help others, they save others. That is the one thing that heroes do. Now, let's take 1 or 2 minutes of silent thinking, like you wonderfully did yesterday in Shivu Anna's session. Think of your hero. Okay? Think of your hero. Imagine that hero somebody existing in the past. It can be somebody totally out of your imagination. It can be a mix, like you are inspired by somebody in past, but you want more freedom, which is why you are creating a new hero based on an existing hero. It can be anything. You are ready with the hero? You'll share about him?
My hero is my friends, mother and dad. When I'm in one problem, they will come to save me and give some advice. And my friends, if I forgot some things to school, they will share with me. Like that, they're my hero.
Wonderful.
Sir, my hero is, ma'am, my hero is my brother.
Your hero is your brother, younger brother, elder brother?
Younger brother. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
He will help me to study.
Wow. Why did you bring him today?
He's studying.
He's studying. So nice. So, yeah. I like that spirit. Yeah, who's your hero? What's your name?
Nishita.
Nishita. Who's your hero?
My father.
Your father. Yeah, I mean, our fathers are our first heroes, right? Okay. And why?
Because he is my God and my mother is also my God. So he is my hero.
Can we have a round of applause for Nishita? Yes, we are a land that says Matru Devo Bhava, Pitru Devo Bhava. One last answer and we'll.
Hello ma'am, my name is Vishmaya from Ratnam International Public School. My father is my hero because he will be always behind me whenever I need him.
Fathers are always behind their children whenever they need them. That's lovely to hear that. So keep your hero in your mind. We'll build a story with your hero or Shiro. Okay? So hero, Shiros, they help people, they save people. Have Shivanna, don't look. I mean, I didn't copy from your slides, okay? From yesterday's session on Purusharthas, you can see the Y, OK, and N, right, in each cell, right? The Y is something good, yes. Yeah. In fulfilling our own ambition, we are also benefiting others, right? We are just fulfilling our ambition, but nobody is getting helped. That's okay. But we are harming others for our own benefit. That's a no. Simple. The first one, Y, is the characteristic of a hero. OK is the character of a normal person. And the no is the character of a villain. So when there is a hero, you need a villain. Right? hope to people that good always triumphs over evil. Right? So that brings us to, yes, all of you are ready with your heroes in your mind? Yep. So she is my Shiro. A little bit about her. Her name is, no, Avishi is the name I gave her. She is Queen Vishpala from Rigveda. Her leg was cut off in a battle. Her leg was cut off in a battle, and Ashwini Kumaras, right? They are the divine doctors. They gave her a metal leg, and she fought with a metal leg. That, my friends, is the first story of prosthesis, of artificial limbs in world history. Right? So India, Bharat, the concept of prosthesis was conceived in Bharat. And this, unfortunately or fortunately, this story is something I discovered while going through one Israeli journal, not in any Indian site. Right? In an Israeli journal, that was a conference on prosthesis. Prosthesis is fixing the artificial limb. So there's a medical conference in a university on prosthesis, and they had one chapter dedicated to history of prosthesis. It started with mentioning of Vishpala, saying, this story is one of the earliest mentioning of prosthesis in world literature. And I felt, why are we not talking about it? So there's this awesome queen who is a warrior who lost a limb. When we get normally wounded, we take a day or two to go and play back. We don't play. You fall off a slide or a swing, then we take months to recover from that fear and get back to the swing or slide. But this is a warrior who lost her leg, who got an artificial leg fixed, and who went to battle with that leg. So that's an awesome story. That's a hero for me. Right? So she's my hero. Okay? So you remember, you're not going to forget your heroes. Right? Okay? Now, think of a villain. Okay? Because there has to be a Ravana to give meaning to Rama. There has to be a Kamsa to make Krishna's life fulfilled. Okay? There has to be a Duryodhana or Karna to make our Arjuna's life immortal. Without the villain, doesn't. Why will we even read a story that has no villain, right? So think of a villain. You are ready with a villain character. Okay?
Now my villain is Joker from Dark Knight's Batman.
Wow. Okay. So, that's an existing villain. Joker is a great villain.
Clone of myself.
Clone of myself. That's a deep answer. We are going to interact more on this. Okay? Give the mic to that girl.
The lizard which scares me.
Lizard which scares her is the villain. What's your name?
Hasni from Lucknow International Public.
Sorry?
Hasni from Lucknow International Public.
Hasini. So that's her fear is her villain. And his clone is his villain. Last answer.
I am Aidin from grade 8 Rathinam Public International Public School. My villain is Sushant.
Oh my god. Okay. Okay, I'm not going to embarrass the kids more. So the last answer here.
It is in Snake Man.
Snake Man. Okay. So your hero, the hero you have in mind, is going to fight the villain in your mind. Okay? That's what the story is going to be about. Okay? Now, generally the villain is very, very powerful. Right? Villain is not a weak person. We'll know why we'll come to see why a great person can become a villain. We'll come to know. But villain is very powerful. And hero, at the beginning, is he powerful enough? No. He has to gain that strength. Right? It can be weapons, it can be power, it can be anything else. Friends who will help him. So the hero has to gain something in order to overcome the villain. Right? So, in the Indian way, because we have given birth to a hero, we have given him a villain, let us also give him a right? First is a guru. Because what is the guru going to do? Going to guide. Who was Arjuna's guru that way? Drona, but who guides Arjuna during his stuff? Krishna. Right? So you need to have a Krishna. I mean, of course, if Krishna is your hero, maybe we don't need exactly a guru. We won't need a friend character. But most of the heroes need gurus. Right? The guru can be anybody, the actual teacher. Guru can be an old warrior who has been trying to overcome the villain, but he is not able to, but he has learnt a lot, so he'll share this one. So, there are different varieties of gurus. Okay? The guru can be nature. You can observe something happening in nature and say, oh, I should try this out. Right? The guru can be a old woman from nowhere. So, one small story of Shivaji Maharaj. Okay? Shivaji Maharaj is a hero. You'll agree, right? I hope everybody's heard about Shivaji Maharaj. Yes? Okay. So there was an instance where one of the wars, he lost one of the wars. While trying to attack his enemies, he lost one of the wars and they escaped. Shivaji and his friend, maybe Tanaji or Kanoji, as a group they were escaping. In the night, they stayed in a hut where there was an old lady and her grandson. They didn't tell her he didn't tell her, I am Shivaji Maharaj, so give me food. I am your king. He didn't tell her. He just said, we are traveling this way. We'll stay at your place in the night. And the old lady was a kind lady who gave them shelter and food for the night. And she cooked one very tasty broth. So when a true hero hears that he has somebody saying he has committed a mistake, he'll go and listen what is happening. He didn't say, "You old lady, how dare you say I have committed a mistake? I am Shivaji Maharaj." He didn't say that. Instead, he said, "Mother, tell me what mistake that Shivaji Maharaj commit." So this old lady said, "You know, the enemy is so powerful, he directly attacked the capital of the enemy. He should have, like my grandson did. Had my grandson started eating little porridge, amounts of porridge from the edges, right, where it is cool, it wouldn't have burnt his fingers or his tongue. Had Shivaji attacked the surrounding forts of the enemy, where the support is very less, he would have gathered more victories and weakened the enemy, right? But instead, Shivaji Maharaj attacked the enemy's capital. That is his mistake." Then Shivaji Maharaj reveals himself, says, "Mother, thank you for this lesson. Now I'm going to learn from this and correct my strategy and then win over my enemies." Right? So this nameless old lady becomes Shivaji Maharaj's guru, guide. Shivaji Maharaj had great gurus, Samat Ramdas, Dadaji Kondadev, all of them are given due credit. But you know, knowledge can come from anywhere. In your story, knowledge can come from nature, it can come from a passerby, it can come from a rishi, it can come from a rishi in a disguise. So there are many possibilities to have this wonderful guru. And the session title was about magic. Who likes magic? Everybody likes magic, right? Now, quick answers on what kind of magic do you like? Something you should like about magic. What kind of a magic? So you had magic. What are the first two things that you will do?
You see YouTube and learn magic. So what are the things that you will do if you know magic?
Okay? You know magic. So what is the thing that you will do for us? I'll say make the vehicles on Bangalore roads disappear here. Solve Bangalore's traffic problem if you know magic. Okay? Yeah. Any other? Yes. So what do you want?
With your magic.
Ma'am, I help the country.
You help the country. What's your name?
Siddhartha.
Siddhartha wants to help the country with magic. Okay?
I will change the world.
You will change the world. What will you change about the world? Two things that you want to change about the world.
Poor humans will be rich,
Mm-hmm.
but all should be studied.
Wow. So poverty, education, he wants to change.
Still make the world pollution free, then I'll give education and good shelters, free education with the magic.
Wonderful.
I will make the trees full of chocolates.
Trees full of chocolates. Yeah.
To erase the greediness from the
answers.
I will save people from everything, and I will save the city from every dangers.
Saving the city from dangers. That's what heroes do, right? I'll come back. So at the end of this session, I want all of you to come up with a very short outline of the story. Huh? 5 people, your own story, your own hero, your own villain, your own magic. Okay? Keep thinking about your stories, right? People who come up and tell their stories will get the goodies here. Okay? So we are going to give them magic that is rooted in Indian thought, Indian wisdom. We had great way of invoking magic. So all of you can read what is Anima, Mahima, Laghima, Garima, Prapti, Prakamya, Ishitva, Vashitva. How many are there? 8. Which is why they are called Ashtasiddhi. Ashta means 8. Siddhi means it's not magic, it is achievement. Okay? So, we have 8 different ways of achieving what we want, and the goddess you see on the right side is Devi Dashasiddhi, who is a part of Shri Yantra. How many of you know about Shri Yantra? I am not qualified to talk about it, but hopefully in future you will know about Shri Chakra and Shri Yantra and the wonderful aspects of that Yantra. Okay? But she is Devi Dashasiddhi, who blesses us with those magical abilities. Okay? So, a little bit. Now, what is Anima? We'll know what are these magical abilities. Okay? Anima is? Yeah. So, are you watching the first picture? What is happening on the left side of the first picture? It's Hanuman in a small form in front of Sita. Right? And the top corner of the picture? He is in a huge form, burning Lanka. What are the 2 lines from Hanuman Chalisa? सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा. Lord Hanuman has these, all the Ashtasiddhis. He is invoking Anima because he respects Sita as a mother, as a goddess. He is shrinking in size as a mark of respect for her. But he knows Lanka is the culprit. That is the time to flex. That is the time to show what we are capable of. So, he is growing in size. That is, so he is invoking Anima with Sita and Mahima against Lanka. Okay? Laghima. Yeah. I think once you are past 35, everybody wishes they had Laghima Siddhi, you know, so that I can eat all junk food that I like and still not put on weight. It doesn't come like that. So when you have to fly in air, you have to feel lighter than air. That's how Laghima Siddhi enabled Hanuman to fly across the sea. And if you have to lift a mountain, you have to be heavier than the mountain. Only then you can lift the mountain, right? And that is Garima. Anima, Mahima, Garima, Laghima. They are the four of the 8 magical abilities. Okay? So the right side of the picture, who are there on the right side of the right picture? Krishna and Sudama. What happens in the story of Krishna and Sudama? Sudama is very poor. He comes to ask for Krishna's help, and just as something happens when they meet and Sudama gives those aval to Krishna. Right? What happens? So can somebody tell?
Krishna knows about Sudama's poverty, ma'am. So Sudama came to ask some ideas and some advice from Lord Krishna, ma'am. So his wife gave some aval, ma'am, in the dirty dress. So he was not willing to give because he is very poor before Krishna. He was very shy to give, ma'am. So Krishna somehow he saw and took the aval. What my mom, your wife had given me something, and I have to eat. Confirm I have to eat. So what is it? Show me, he asked, ma'am. So Sudama said, nothing. No, nothing. He said, no, give to me, I will eat, he said. So he took and ate one piece of aval, ma'am. Then Sudama spoke with Krishna and he went to his place, ma'am. I mean his house. So when he sees, his house areas becomes a very big palace, ma'am. Because of Krishna's magic, his house had become a palace, ma'am.
Claim your goodie later. Okay? What's your name? Srinidhi. So, the minute Krishna takes the offering of the aval from Sudama, Sudama's house got transformed, the hut got transformed into a palace. From nowhere, jewels and riches appeared in the house of Sudama. That is the siddhi called Prapti. Right? Prapti is the magical ability which helps you manifest things out of thin air. Okay? Prakamya, something similar. You want to attain a task, you will attain it. That is prakamya. A difficult task. And what's Krishna doing on the left 2 pictures? The sound of his flute, all the animals, humans, as it is, they are spellbound by his magic. That is the combination of Ishitva and Vashitva. Right? If a snake comes, it's not going to bite Krishna because it's totally within the hold of Krishna. Right? That is Vashitva. And Krishna says something, people will obey. That is Ishitva. Right? So, Prapti, Prakamya, Ishitva, Vashitva. So those who somebody wanted to solve the greed of the world. Right? You need the Vashitva Siddhi. What happened in Cinderella? What kind of magic happened in Cinderella story? No, from the Ashtasiddhis, what kind of magic happened? Prapti. So the fairy godmother had the Prapti Siddhi, but that is not a sustaining Prapti Siddhi. That has a expiry time. By midnight, everything will turn back into whatever it was. So it's a temporary Prapti Siddhi that the fairy godmother had given Cinderella. Okay?
So now take 1 or 2 minutes. You don't have to tell me right now about what are the kind of magical abilities that your hero has or he will attain from his guru or from God. Okay? Just take some time. Don't limit your imagination. You have a wonderful hero and you have a scary villain, some lizard man here, some snake man there. Okay, you have a question or you want to share about the magic? Think about the whole story. We'll have. You already have a story in mind? Okay, well, I'll call you. What's your name? Chandana. Sanjana Shri. Okay, I'll call you. Okay? Okay? Yeah. Ready? 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 Okay. We'll finish the session and, all of you will, not all of you, but some of you can come and tell us your wonderful stories. Okay? There's much more magic than just the Ashtasiddhis. A person can have all the siddhis and still become a villain. Right? It happens. Hiranyakashipu, he had all the powers that he could command. But still, was he a hero? Was Hiranyakashipu a hero? No. Why? Because he disturbs devotees. So he's harming, with his powers he's harming people. Right? That's why he's the villain. He's harming Vishnu's devotees. Right? He's harming harmless people. Those people who would not disturb anyone, those people who are silently engaged in their bhakti, he is going and harming them. So, even his son, right? So his hatred is so strong. So what is the use of having all that power, right? Only some people are getting harmed because of you. You are the villain. Okay, there is something called mantra siddhi. So the mantras are given by gurus in, there is a ritual called upadesha or initiation, where the guru gives you a mantra and you have to chant it many times over, and that mantra becomes your friend. And you can invoke the mantra to ask what you want. So what my guru told me is the mantra has certain number of syllables, and for each syllable 1,00,000 times. The mantras should not be chanted without a guru initiation, except some like Shivaya Namaha, where Shiva himself is the guru. So this has 5 syllables. 5,00,000 times you chant Shivaya Namaha, the mantra becomes your friend. That's called mantra siddhi. Okay? That's another magical ability. If the person is so disciplined to follow that practice of chanting, shlokas have some abilities. So those shlokas, the stotras, they become your friends and they solve your problems. That's what happened with Prahlada, right? That is also magic. Because his devotion, his discipline was so strong that Vishnu felt compelled to come and save him from Hiranyakashipu. And these are beautiful, beautiful practices of Indian systems that help us become friends with the elements. What are the 5 elements or Panchabhutas? What are Panchabhutas? Yes, wonderful. So there's a certain order to it. What is the most solid element? Earth. Bhumi. What is a little not so solid? Water. land, water, and then fire, and air, and sky. That is the order you should remember the Panchabhutas. We want the Panchabhutas to be friendly with us. Right? So there are certain practices we do over decades, over lifetimes, over generations to have those, maintain that friendship with Panchabhutas. Right? So when you do Archana, Puja, the idol is made of a metal or clay. That's coming from earth. Flowers you use are coming from trees that come from earth. Right? So the whole practice of Archana, Puja helps us connect with the earth. Okay? And Tarpana. The second one is something called Deva Tarpana, where we offer water to gods. That makes us friends with water. Third one, what is happening in the third picture? Yagna. Right? A homa or a yagna. That helps us connect to fire. And fourth picture? Huh? What? Huh? Huh? Ha. So it's pranayama. Right? You practice pranayama, the air becomes your friend, Vayu becomes your friend. And you do japa, meditation, basically japa, okay, of the mantra. We talked about mantra siddhi, right? You focus on a mantra and chant, then the sky becomes your friend. So think about your hero again. Think about the hero's friends, if he has somebody, hero's gurus. They must be, if you want the 5 elements to help your hero do whatever he wants, these are the practices that your hero should be doing. Right? So when I was young, there were movies like, I don't know, Firebender, Waterbender, Airbender and all, you know, where air listens to this character. He can, you know, when the villain comes to attack this boy, he uses air to block the attack. Right? And there is water, earth, everything. So these are the practices. Yes? Yes, discussing about magic? Hello? Time, okay. So what makes a villain? So you should know your villain. Without knowing Ravana, can Rama go and kill Ravana without knowing about him? Right? So what makes a villain is, I should have written the meanings. Kama is desire, too much of desire. Desire of, beyond a certain, the harmful desire. Right? Krodha, anger. Ravana's characteristic was Kama, and Hiranyakashipu's was Krodha. So much of hatred, anger, that he started harming innocent people. Lobha is, somebody wanted to eradicate Lobha from the world. Greed. Lobha is greed. Moha is too much attachment. Mada is arrogance. Matsarya is ego. Okay, that's I, mine. Arrogance. So these are called 6 enemies. Because these are the characters that become our own enemies. And they can turn a hero into a villain. Right? So when you think of a villain, think of what characteristics make a villain. Okay? And what are if there are 6 enemies, there should be 6 friends.
Right? These are the 6 qualities that will make a hero, whether you have magic or not. So Arjuna did not have any magic. Right? Arjuna is still a hero. He doesn't have any magical abilities. And he doesn't have the brute strength like Bhima has. Right? But do we see Arjuna becoming angry, disturbed anytime? When? Huh? But did he do something? Everybody becomes angry. Even I become angry. Yeah. I mean, Draupadi is not even my relative. But do they do anything in that anger that they'll regret? No. That is Shama. Dhamma, he practices through night, right? And he doesn't feel the need to sleep. How many of us study through the night? Wow. That's Dhamma. You already have the hero qualities of the self-control. When we have self-control, no? And Shraddha. What Krishna tells him, he believes. And he does as Krishna tells him to do. Titiksha is good things happen, bad things happen. I am not going to change because of that. Oh, bad things happen to me. Oh, I should become a bad person. That's how I'll survive in this world. No. Whether good things happen or bad things happen, I will become a stronger, good person. That's Titiksha. And do we see Arjuna afraid anytime? Do we see him greedy for anything? No. Right? Even Indra called him to Swarga. He went to obey his father, but he didn't stay back there. He didn't say, who is going back to that forest? He didn't say that. Indra called him for a task. He finished the task and came back. Right? So that is Uparati and focus. That's one thing. Samadhana, that's Arjuna's identity. He can focus on the bird's eye, the fish's eye. Right? That makes, whether your hero has magic or not, he should be having these qualities. And the magic also will come directly, automatically. Gods will help them. Okay? So that was now the story. The two rishis. Who are the two rishis in the
hero gets